Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushak, choose what really matters.
The bigger worry for India, we say, is Pakistan's iron brother China. That's part 3 of India's challenge. In China, an old time capsule has resurfaced. An article that predicts China's future. What does it look like? 6 wars in 40 years, including one against India in Arunachal Pradesh. That is what the oracle says. Let me give you some background. This piece of prophecy is nearly 8 years old. It was first published in 2013 by a Chinese internet company called Sohu. Now it has resurfaced on Chinese social media. Nobody knows why, but it's going viral. The article was far-fetched in 2013. It is still far-fetched today. Here's what it says. China will fight 6 wars in 40 years. That's from 2020 to 2060. Spoiler alert, they win all 6. The author calls them inevitable wars. So apparently China has no option but to fight, which is strange because all 6 wars are invasions, not acts of self-defense. War number 1 happens between 2020 and 2025. The target is Taiwan. It is supposed to be a no challenge, no US intervention, no Japanese help. The PLA will wrap it up in 3 months. War number 2 is between 2025 and 2030. This is a bigger campaign, the South China Sea. Beijing will first send an ultimatum to countries around the Spratly Islands. They will wait for 3 years and then invade. Again, no intervention from the US. China basically walks over Southeast Asia. With 2 wars done, Beijing will focus on India, we are told, on Arunachal Pradesh, or as the Chinese call it, South Tibet. This war will happen between 2035 and 2040. What will be China's strategy? The author has 2 ideas. First is to disintegrate India. We are talking about the world's largest democracy, a union built on shared ideals and history. No separatist movement has succeeded in India. In fact, those movements have made India stronger. But China wants to break up that union. I guess in China there's no tax on dreaming. The second strategy is Kashmir. Make India and Pakistan fight over Kashmir while China invades Arunachal Pradesh. Basically a sneak attack. War number 4 is on the Senkaku Islands. Japan controls these islands, but China has always claimed sovereignty over them. This war happens between 2040 and 2045. US and Europe are bystanders. So in 6 months, the PLA hammer the Japanese. On to the next war, Outer Mongolia. This territory belonged to China's Qing dynasty. Today it makes up the nation-state of Mongolia. Again, no contest for the Chinese here. By 2050, they say, they're supposed to conquer Mongolia. The last war is a strange one. Between 2055 and 2060, China is supposed to fight Russia. What for? Well, no particular reason. A few centuries back, Russia annexed Chinese territories, and this war is supposed to be payback. I guess all the ice cream dates did not work. Beijing sees Russia as the final frontier, the last step to becoming a global hegemon. So there you have it. 6 wars, 6 decisive victories. We say absolute nonsense. Would China like to invade these territories? I'm sure they would. I'm sure they do. But these predictions are borderline fiction, what we call an armchair general. For starters, they basically spill their entire strategy, when the attacks will happen, who will lead them, and what response they're expecting. Take the so-called war for Arunachal. They're thinking of 2 strategies, either divide India or distract India. Neither will work. India has fought a multi-front war before. It was a resounding success. Plus, the PLA's effectiveness in that terrain is subpar. They're actually trying to recruit Tibetan youth to fill the gap. Same with the war on Russia. This is a nuclear superpower. Unlike India, Russia does not have a no first use policy. They could nuke China in minutes. Has the author forgotten all of this? Or ignored it conveniently? The bottom line is this. The Sohu article is wishful thinking on steroids. No country can fight non-stop for 40 years. It would run out of supplies and people. But what does it reveal? It reveals China's worldview. Remember Deng Xiaoping's words, hide your strength, bide your time. The so-called military plan is the definition of a long game. Think about it, 2060. Will the current Chinese leaders even be alive for that? It seems unlikely. But that's how things work in Beijing. A lot of scheming that cuts across generations and leaders. But why has this article resurfaced after 8 years? It's difficult to say. Are the Chinese people giving Beijing a nudge? Or is Beijing reminding the world of its missions? In China, you never know. Well, this article's nuances are laughable. The end game is not. Given a chance, China would do all of the above. In fact, they're already making moves in Taiwan. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.
Gravitas, co-presented by Skoda. Kushak, choose what really matters.